guys, Miss Terizzi here. First week of learning that is mandatory. Hopefully you guys all see this or join the Zoom meeting on Monday. I'm going to remind you that I'm available every day through office hours. Your parents have the Zoom code. It is live from 10 to 12. All you got to do is go in there and I will be available to answer questions. I'm going to do this lesson live on Monday morning at 10, and Wednesday morning at 10 we'll do some class practice, play some games, whatever. But then Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, if you need help with any of your assignments, I'm available to help you, and I would love to touch base with you guys. I will lay everything out in your Google Classroom as to what I expect from the week. All right, let me go through that because I know that there have been some questions. The homework notes and this video are all posted in one area along with a key for the homework. Obviously, I can't check to see if you've done that homework, but I recommend that you do it so you can check your work and that you understand what's going on. The other assignments that I can check are going to be in Khan Academy. Those will be posted every week. IXL, they will also be posted in your Google Classroom. There will be a quizzes assignment that is in your Google Classroom. Those are 3 things that will be due for grades during the week. And then last but not least, a quiz on a Google Doc, or it's called a Google form. That's also posted in your classroom. That will be graded for accuracy. The other things will be graded. I'm not sure how we're doing grades yet. That will be, I'll keep you posted on that. But when I post this stuff in Google, you need to pay attention to what I'm expecting you to do. All right, guys, and if you have any questions, either email me or stop in my Zoom on Monday through Friday from 10 to 12. All right, so here's the lesson. We're doing single event probability this week. And if you haven't already pulled up the notes in your Google Classroom, I think you should do that now. Press pause if you need to get those. All right, so we are going to talk about probability, okay? And if you pull your notes up, it tells you all outcomes that are equally likely. The probability of an event is a ratio that compares the number of favorable outcomes to the number of possible outcomes. This is just single event probability. All right, so let's start taking a look at these. It says, what is the probability of rolling, I'm going to make this one up, probability of getting a 4 on a dice. Now, think about it. When you roll a dice, these are your outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Those are the only possible things that you can get. So there are 6 outcomes. How many of them are a 4? One of them is a 4. 1 4 out of 6 outcomes. So the probability of getting a 4 is 1/6. Now, let me go grab my calculator real quick. Usually you write an outcome as a fraction, but you could also change this to a decimal, and it would be 0.16 repeating. I could round that to 0.17 or approximately 17%, because remember, move your decimal 2 to the right. That's 3 different ways to write probabilities. All right, now on your notes, example 1. What's the probability of getting an even number on a dice? So the probability of an even, look how I'm writing this. Look at your dice. 2, 4, and 6 are even numbers, so that's 3 out of 6, which is 1/2. I would use your calculator to reduce that just to make sure you're right. That's 0.5 or 50%, all the same thing. The next thing says the probability of an odd. Well, odd is going to be the same thing because I've got 1, 3, and 5 are all odd numbers. So that's 3 out of 6, which is 1/2. Probability of a 5 or a 6. 5 or a 6, that's 2 numbers out of 6 possible. 1/3. All right, let me erase this. Now, on your notes, there is a scale. Probability is somewhere between 0 and 1. Okay? If I said an event, what's the probability of getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on a dice? A dice is 6 out of 6, which is 1 or 100%. You're always going to get one of those. That is what we call certain. That is definitely going to happen. What if I said to you, what is the probability of getting a 7 on a dice? Well, there's no 7s on a die. So that's 0 out of 6 possibilities, which is 0% chance. So that's impossible. If something is 1/2, we call that equally likely. It might happen, it might not. 50% chance. The closer you get to 0, it becomes unlikely. And the closer you get to 1, highly likely. Okay, but the key is you got to realize that probabilities are always between 0 and 1. There's nothing higher than 1, nothing below 0. And they're always positive numbers, probabilities. All right. Next page in your notes. Okay, these are the 2 types of probabilities that you need to learn today. Experimental and theoretical. Theoretical is just based on outcomes. Now, all of the problems that we've done so far have been theoretical. Okay? We know on a dice you could get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So we have 6 outcomes. We base our probability on just knowing that there are 6 outcomes. Experimental is based on results of an experiment. You're basing this on something that has happened. For example, let's pretend I make a table here, and I'm going to roll a dice. Whoops, I missed my 5. I'm going to roll a dice 20 times, and I'm going to record my results. And I get 2 1s, 3 2s, 5 3s. I don't get any 4s. That's 10. I get 6 5s and 4 6s. So pretend I rolled a dice. 20 times I recorded the results. So I got 2 here, 3 here, 5 here, 0 here, 6 here, and 4 here. So I record my results. Now, let me explain this to you because this is super important. If I said, based on these results, what is the experimental probability of getting a 5? The experimental probability of rolling a 5 is, how many 5s did we get? 6 out of, I rolled this 20 times. 6 out of 20. That reduces to 3/10. That is the experimental probability of getting a 5 based on the results of my experiment. What if I said to you, what is the theoretical probability of getting a 5? Well, think about it. How many 5s are there? There's 1 5 out of 6 outcomes. All right, go ahead. I'm recording a lesson right now. So go ahead and then just shut the door. All right, so theoretical probability is 1 out of 6. That's based on 1 5 out of 6 outcomes. Experimental is based on our table here. We've got 6 5s out of 20 rolls. Okay, really important that you understand the difference between those two. All right, sorry, I had to answer the door there. All right, here we go. Now, we are on example 2 in your notes. It says, a gardener plants 250 sunflower seeds and 210 of them germinate. Find the probability that a sunflower will germinate. So, probability of germinating. It says 210 germinated out of 250 planted. If you reduce that, 210, you get 21 over 25. I like that. Always reduce your probabilities. Is that theoretical or experimental? Well, we actually did something. Did we do something, or is it just in theory? We planted them, so we did something. So this is experimental. Okay, next one. George, this is example 3. George is playing a game with his friend. What is the probability that George will spin the spinner on the left and land on red? So we are looking probability of red. Now, we just look at the spinner and we can see there's green, red, orange, purple, and yellow. 1, 2, 3, 5 sections that are all the same. One of them is red, so 1 out of 5, or 1/5. What is that based on? It's just based on the numbers of the spinner. So that is theoretical. Example 4. A bag contains 2 red cubes and 3 white cubes. What is the probability of selecting a white cube? Probability of getting a white cube. Look how I'm writing this. Probability of a white. There are 3 whites out of 5 cubes in the bag, because 3 whites and 2 reds, that's 5 total, 3/5. And that is, again, theoretical. We didn't do anything. They're just telling us how many dice are in the bag. Now, example 5. Example 5. In this example, it says, George and his friends played the game. George's spin results are listed below. What is the probability of him getting a green? So, you need to look in that list. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 10 colors listed. How many of them are green? 2. So, 2 out of 10, which is 1/5. What is this? This is experimental, because it is based on the actual spins that George did. Okay, last but not least, example 6. Christina has 20 comedy DVDs and 5 action DVDs. If she randomly selects one of the DVDs, what is the probability that she selects a comedy? Well, she's got, so the probability of a comedy, 20 are comedy out of 25 DVDs. So that's 4/5. Now, if you look at your choices, they are as decimals. 4/5 is 0.8 or 80%. They're not asking us for the percent. I just gave that to you. So 0.8 is letter D. Now, this is what I'm going to suggest that you guys do. After you watch this video, which you just did, you should go into the homework packet, do the homework, okay? It's listed as week 1, and check it in the same area. There's a key. If you have questions, either email me or come to my Zoom from 10 to 12 so I can help you.